on here. And hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. It's Ask Comedian time. Look at shock at everyone's face.
You can't ask me a question, I'm a triple XL. Hey!
Hey.
Sorry.
I come in at a hefty
Shocking,
2XL. Yeah.
Chuck Norris for a medium.
Did you have to get the medium had to get permission from Chuck Norris to be a medium?
No, the extra large did.
Right. Right. Hang on a minute.
It's going to be one of them nights,
It,
is it?
yeah.
I feel it in the water. It's going to be one of them. I feel it in my finger. Who sung that?
That was
Wait.
originally the Trogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, wait, better not.
shut up
Hello.
about original.
Sorry, DJ here.
That's what you call three women at a Marty Pellow concert. Wait.
Right, so yeah, bear with us. I'm just getting. Okay.
Demonetised.
Right, there we are. Right, yeah, I'm just bringing the other screen up so we can keep an eye on. Hopefully, keep an eye on the messages. That's that. Yeah. Okay. It's all looking good. And there we are. So, how is everybody?
Tired.
Still breathing,
Oh,
which is
it's
a
like
bonus.
fucking nursing
Yeah, that's
home,
always
isn't it?
useful. Yeah, God, get more. Yeah, I've been to some more lively nursing homes.
What's that film? That Cocoon?
Aliens, they're coming to save us.
Where are
Yes.
we? Hopefully.
Yes.
Oh, for
Being
sake.
stuck.
Very much up, Scotty. So,
He
what's
never
it?
said that, did he? Ever?
No, he never actually did. No, it was always Scotty two to beam up or something.
No, it wasn't Scotty, it was just being something.
Yeah,
Seems to be my.
yeah,
And
that's
there's
right.
also another line in the film that was never said as
Yeah.
well, and that is in
Elementary,
Zulu
my dear,
when they
what's
said, "Don't aim for the whites of their eyes." They never said that.
No, they didn't. You're
They
right.
said, "Fire at the smoke."
And
That's what they
Sherlock
said.
Holmes never
So
said
there.
that. Elementary, my dear, what's the name of it?
No, he never.
No.
Know what he said?
Something
Hey up, Chuck.
else.
So it's.
Anyway, moving on.
Hey up, Chuck. You got dumplings in stew.
Dump. You're right, dump.
All right, dump.
So Sherlock said that. Hey, up, shot. There's dumplings in stew.
Yeah.
Was it? That wasn't in Hannah the Baskervilles, was it?
Oh yeah. Right.
I'm just checking because I might have watched a different one.
Every War of the Worlds.
Sherlock Holmes is in War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going slightly off piece. We're going to be starting.
We're in that
Safe
sort
word.
of we're in that mood today.
I think we've all had too
I
much
called you
sun.
Hazel then. Sorry.
Oh, don't do that. Right, so,
Oh, I know.
and our friend.
I called Gloria Hazel.
Did you?
Yeah, sorry.
Nuts.
That's not very nice.
Oh,
I
what?
like the name Hazel.
Shocking.
Eh?
I like the name Hazel.
The name Hazel's nice, yeah.
Well,
Just
It's
that
one of the people it's attached to.
hey.
Anyway,
Yes,
Karen, how are you?
all better now. My back has repaired itself.
Wonderful.
Yes, all the systems go. Don't know what it was in the end.
Just overwork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unpaid, overwork.
usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you been up to anything exciting?
No, but my son's wedding is next week, so I've got all
oh my
that.
God.
Oh yeah.
Don't you feel old?
Oh,
Yeah,
Oldest when you get grandchildren.
yeah,
Thank you.
Mm,
not yet.
not yet, no.
Not yet.
No. You've got plenty of time for that.
Yeah.
Mine's too late now, I've already got them. They're not going back. Bless them. So, okay, your son's getting married. Crazy.
Bloody hell.
How old's Jake?
29 this year.
That's when you know you're getting old.
Ow. Yeah.
Where did that go?
Yeah, that's mental. Gloria.
Adam. Adam.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You
Same,
got- So
different
you've
day.
got over your bout of illnesses.
Puffer fish.
I've gone on to stand on Friday, so I shall
Right.
let you know what my, I don't know what you call this,
The throat.
pelican goal.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Found it nice. My cheek, my next here, you dumps.
More chins than a Chinese folk.
Well,
It's a,
Pot
it's
kettle black.
mine's relaxed muscle.
Okay. Anyway,
And what have you been up
I'm
to?
fine. Well, I watched the Eurovision Song Contest on Saturday.
Someone had to do it.
Well, you lot were out.
How was that?
Toby, I know you weren't. That's why I didn't point to you. I went, you lot were that.
I think it was a crap result. Very
No,
good.
I thought Austria was brilliant and amazing.
That's what they're saying.
Did Austria win?
Yeah, but Switzerland, I really wanted Switzerland to win. She had a beautiful voice. It was such a nice song called Voyage. It's lovely.
Oh, what were we about?
But my favourite was probably Estonia, who sang about coffee
Oh, really?
and did a weird dance, and they were so cool. I
Oh.
love the Estonians. They've got a really good relationship with nature.
Hmm.
So anyway, that obviously was a highlight of my weekend because I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So you watched
And I went to
Eurovision
IKEA.
and you went to IKEA.
Eurovision and IKEA were perfect weekend.
Just-
Oh, but winter night's flyby, you're
So
right.
you watched Eurovision and I played Bucks Fizz on Saturday night. You complete with the video, making your mind up.
Yes, you posted that on the
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. They whipped off their long
Oh, I did.
skirts.
Yeah, glorious memory that was.
I bet it was
Yes.
for a young boy.
Still is.
Yeah, well, men never grow up, do they?
No, we
Boys
don't.
never grow
No, we don't grow. We just grow out.
up.
So okay. And Jeff, what have you been?
Work, mate.
Work, mate.
Oh, work.
Black and Decker.
Work, mate.
Second blacker.
Work and more work. Welding. And did a bit of shooting. That's it, really.
At the same time, or different?
No, can't shoot and weld at the same time.
No, can you not?
He can't multitask.
No, what's up with you?
No.
You mean to say can't tap a meek and pull a trigger?
Yeah. No, just standard, really. We're just very busy at work. There's only two of us, me and the gaffer.
Mm.
And we're just very, 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 very busy. It was snowed under with contracts and that, so we're, yeah, it's keeping me out of trouble.
Well, yeah, this is it. The money's coming in, so
Yeah,
good.
got
Happy
some,
days.
got some good money coming in now, so
Mm.
yeah, it's good. Did a car boot sale Sunday.
How'd you get on with that?
Really good, actually.
Yeah.
Really well. Yeah. Yeah, I raised some money for going to Barleyland Spring Fair next Sunday with the kids and my Karen.
Yeah.
And I looked at the forecast and it's raining.
Yes,
Take
yeah,
them
I
right
didn't notice that.
So I'm now alternative plans. I really wanted to take them, but
Well, I mean, it says that there's rain, but it's not.
it's 40% chance.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. It's raining quite hard on Saturday before that. It's all in the field, so I'll have to gauge it. So
Your
anyway.
Karen said hello.
Hi, Karen.
Hi,
Hello, Karen.
No.
And Neil says, Jeff, you mean Chris? Because you're Chris. Yeah, apparently you're Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, yeah, I can't remember what that went back. Neil, can you remind me what that went back to?
Nearly you smoking crack.
Oh, didn't he ask where Chris was or something?
Something like that. Yeah,
I
yeah,
might have been wrong. Well, he meant you.
yeah,
I got your name wrong.
Oh, sorry.
That was
Neil.
it, yeah.
Right, sorry.
yeah. We just remembered. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we did laugh.
Oh, how we did. Yeah, we do laugh at Jeff. I mean Chris. And the man.
Apparently, I'm Chris, Jeff, Dumps, Fat Neck, Toss Bag. Think of a name. I am. Courtesy of
Calm it up.
Pufferfish Fanny over here. Well, that sounded wrong, didn't it?
That did, yes.
I didn't mean Fanny as in.
It's a good job we do this after 8
It's
o'clock, isn't it?
nuts. We're expecting it from you. It's
Yeah, yeah, this is quite right.
While you're ahead.
So, Rudy,
Yes,
what's been going on with you?
Had a couple of Friday and Saturday photographic drone taking weekend at Lake and Heath and Mildenhall on Friday, filming Air Force One and a couple of jets coming in, and then Saturday Felixstowe and Rochester droning the Russian sub that's moored out there called the Black Widow from the Cold War. Which was, and then
you
that's
get to go on it.
Weren't it very warm?
It was a museum, so you could go, and I think one
no,
was reading up on it Saturday
it's
night.
been renovated.
Yeah, so we could
And-
be.
There's a VW show. Took loads of pictures of the VWs at Felixstowe. That's it really.
Yeah, we're all doing pretty good, Neil. Yeah, not bad at all.
And what have you been up to then, Adam?
Yeah.
Uh,
Don't enter the bike.
Or the bike.
If you can't mention the bike, you
Oh,
haven't
that's
done
it.
a lot.
So right, so the bike issue that I had, that's sorted. I've been here, there, and everywhere. So bike's okay.
You can't mention, alright, Saabs, bikes or boats.
No.
What have you been up to?
Or engines.
What have you been up to? Oh, that's my week.
Or mechanical parts.
I've been down to my garage to do some tidying up,
Oh, that's Adam's week.
which involved none of that, but it did involve my DJ gear because I had something else go wrong last week. It was only minor. I'd I've got.
Is there anything that ever not goes wrong in your week? Everything, something seems to break every week.
Yeah, it's only because it gets used and abused. So
I feel like that.
yeah, we know. Neil said good evening, ladies.
Hi.
Neil.
I said ladies.
Yeah, well, that includes Jeff.
Hi.
So well, actually, read one. It's just reminded me what I have done. I went to see my daughter last weekend. She's got one of them e-scooter things that she goes to work on. And, funny how the tyre thing's been doing the rounds, all with me mainly, but had to change the front tyre on her little e-scooter, and we found a place in Canvey that does tyres for e-scooters. So we've done that. So I was one happy daughter because she can get to work. And then this weekend, I've been to see my boy and my granddaughters up in Clacton.
Very
Yeah, they've just moved into a new house, so settling in quite nicely.
They've
My,
moved out of the pub.
eh?
They've moved out of the pub.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So it's nice and quiet in there for them, which, especially for Elena, she's 4 years old now,
yeah.
so she's got what she's come up for. So she gets a routine, you know. Yeah, she nodded off my arms on Saturday night. It's quite cute.
Oh, are we talking to her about subs?
No, I was telling about you.
Touche.
Yeah,
We came over. Look.
and
Sorry.
yes, Elena's my eldest granddaughter. Ava's now like 6 months old. It's like, where did that happen? And she looks just like my boy when he was that age. It's quite funny. So yeah, see my grandchildren, which was great. And yeah, other general bits and pieces. I can't mention the boat because I did. Yeah.
You just said the word.
But I'm not going to say what I did to it. So there we go. But yeah, I had some stuff to do with DJing.
Was it about boats?
No. I had a mixer play up on me on Thursday night, but I've got 3 mixers, so one's like to spare. So now I've just swapped them over, and it's all working well. Karaoke books are done, so that's why I can concentrate on this more now. I've got one essential job to do on the
Boat.
Thank you.
Which
That'll
I'll
be
tell
done.
you about on the boat channel.
I will. Yep, that'll be done next week.
He's
And,
banned from talking about boats.
Is that
on the
Adam's
channel.
boats, is it?
Boat move. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting cracking with that. But once that job's done, I can. Yeah, it's now like something. Mind you, your drone's out, but there's someone I'll talk to you about.
Oh.
It's really frustrating because I want to do a video of my little 8 foot.
Can't talk about it.
Well,
Yeah.
I would like to do a video of your 8 foot.
So I've got my 8 foot tender, I've got the 13 foot tender, then I've got
What's a tender?
Enterprise.
Is that a
It's a
boat?
BIT.
Yeah, it's another name for dinghy.
Can't talk about it.
What, a dinghy?
You can't talk
I don't-
about
I didn't-
you can't talk about floating apparatus on this channel.
Okay, what about a bar of soap?
No.
96.
Okay. Well, if I carved into it.
If you can talk about submarines, but you can't talk about boats.
Alright. Right. Anyway, yeah.
Unless it's a
So,
haunted boat.
Anyway,
yeah,
Haunted
that
submarine.
hope,
Is it a haunted boat?
no, but
You
at
can't
some
talk about
point I would like to be able to involve the boat in haunting purposes. It's just
No,
been
the boat
very,
is
very
gonna
delayed.
haunt something.
No, using the boat to get to somewhere that
Oh,
could be
okay,
haunted.
okay.
It'd be called a ghost ship.
The coast ship travels probably quite a good thing.
You ever had ghost ship? At Adnams, the brewery.
Mm.
Lovely pint. That's
Yeah.
lovely pint.
Yeah, and they sell it in
Where?
In a place.
Witherspoons.
Another.
Witherspoons.
When?
Witherspoons. Yeah.
Or other.
Weatherspoon's on
Other
to
pubs available.
other pubs are available, but yes, Weatherspoon's still goes to. Anyway, yeah, Billy Ocean, yeah, great, very nice. So yeah, we will
Yes,
be
the
up.
ocean, because the boat's on the ocean, isn't it?
Yes,
He's
You're
one,
always
eh?
right, you're always right. He's a crap
Neil
player,
mentioned
he's
Billy Ocean, not me.
Oh.
I'm not guilty, my lad.
Not what the jury said.
So does that mean we can't say CC Penniston either because it's C?
C,
C.
yeah.
Okay.
Even though it's C, it's S-E-A-C.
Hmm.
See, senor.
And he gets his boat.
See you later.
See you later. See you later.
Anyway,
So yes, anyway, so it's Oscar Medium time. So Plasma State, good evening. Hello. Hey folks, good eves. Yes, we're here.
oh, hello.
Hello. We all hope you've had a great week. We've got a bank holiday coming up. Yeah.
Every day's a bank holiday.
Hopefully
It's
going
been
down
a
to
bit of
Maidstone.
a row, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've got Good Friday.
Yeah, because it was a late Easter. Yeah, it was a late Easter,
And
so
then beginning of May, yeah.
everything's just like.
Yeah,
And then there's no more
May's a
till
good month, isn't
August, so make
Mm.
most of it.
it? Well, is there one in August?
Yeah, you got the August one, haven't you?
Is it?
Mm.
Oh.
Do you live in the world, Jeff?
That
Can you
stuff
open
you're
the door? I'm really
smoking, is
hot.
it that strong?
You really are.
Yeah.
You've got a heating on.
It says it's on heat on. Why was it heat
I don't know.
That's just- Because she's not paying for it.
Dog comes.
Right, so I'm just going to double check this is working because we know this likes to go off. Yeah, okay. Right, so
That's some good music.
Yeah, so yeah, there was one bit of gadget that we haven't left out the last few times we've been doing that, and that's been the fart machine. Those of you with memories know that thing can go off randomly. But the remote is up there, so no one's touching it. So if it does go off, it's none of us. It's whoever's with us. And you never know. So, what subjects would we like to talk about?
Any other?
Karen's got the sheet.
Any
Would they
ideas?
have anything?
Yeah,
they'd
and
like
if
us
you
to
guys
talk
have
Oh,
got
it looks like a
anything.
sheep.
Karen has the sheet.
Actually, look like a sheep. to
No,
me.
apparently she does.
Right, I can't remember what we got up to last time.
Okay, all prepared.
Telepathy?
Nah.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did you say no boring?
Yeah, I was thinking
Ah,
that.
very good, very good.
Levitation?
Yes,
All right.
Rudy can levitate.
Only when I get up off this chair. Toilet.
Too much floating about.
All right, so what we do? Should we start at the bottom and work our
Why
way up?
don't we ask the audience?
Or we ask the people
Yeah,
watching.
and if you guys have got any suggestions about what we can talk about, yeah, phone a friend.
Phone
Yeah,
friend.
stop it.
I can't because I'm using my phone to talk to you lot. So, but
I don't think we should
We
have
don't
it.
quite
Thank you very much.
I want to.
I don't want you to.
Apparitions?
You don't want to.
Thank you, Rudy.
apparitions.
I don't have to be answering
Okay.
to you.
Right.
Apparition.
Why are you answering then?
Easy, easy.
Why are you answering?
I was wondering how long we could keep that going, but you suddenly became
Is that what board of it?
a brain cell more. Doubled.
Right.
Double.
That sounds
Anyway, Neil says I need you to. All right. I need to. Hang on.
Violence.
To tie up something with Gloria from last session.
You need to tie Gloria up.
Stop.
Kinky.
Don't.
Neil, go on. Ignore that.
Yeah. Ignore Chris.
Right,
No, yeah.
tarot for serious.
Yeah, don't.
It's not tarot, he wants me to. I don't know. I started giving him a message last time.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. About the chat. Was it his dad or granddad? Had the heart
yes.
attack.
Ooh,
Yeah.
And he was coming through the door or
And he
something.
said he said he felt really lonely when he passed.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
But
You
showed
said
me-
he was showing you a
showed
room.
me, yeah, he didn't show me where he was. He
Yeah.
showed me something else. So I'm hoping that's relevant.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Go far away, Neil.
No, I'm trying to remember because he ain't here, is he? So. In the meantime, we could talk about something so we're not all sitting
Okay.
in silence.
So.
Well, Karen's just mentioned apparition.
Apparitions.
Mm.
Ghosts.
So.
Spectres, ghostly figures, apparitions.
You got they resemble individuals, or are they full-bodied, or that kind of
Right. Okay.
apparitions?
So, what types of apparitions
Yeah.
are there?
It crisis apparitions. It's normally visits from loved ones in times when
Yeah.
You need them. Yeah.
you need them in times of crisis, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I got a story about an apparition.
There is.
No, honestly, straight up. When my dad died, this is I was married to Emma. When my dad died, and you can ask Heather this. When my dad died, I think it was about a week after my dad died. I was talking to me. I rung my mum up. I said, "Hey, you all right?" This, that, and the other. She went, "I am now." I went, "Now? What? Why now?" She went, "Oh, your dad was sat on the end of the bed. I was talking to your dad last night." And I was like, "Mums." I went, "All right, yeah, go on." And she went, "Yeah." She goes, I said, "Did he look all right?" She goes, "Yeah, it was back in his 20s when he was like a teddy boy. He looked really healthy. It was when he was his best looking." And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "You obviously were dreaming." She goes, "No, I went to bed and I was reading my book and I heard Evening Doc. And I put my book down and he was sat there and I sat and had a conversation with him." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, all right." Put the phone down. And I was like, all right, I'm ringing my sister up. So I rung my youngest sister up.
Okay, they've got it.
I rung my youngest sister up.
Yeah.
And blow me. I talked to her. I said, "Mum," I said, "my mum's had a work." She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I was chatting to her the night before." I'm like, "Come on." I said, "You winding me up here, a lot of you." Apparently, both my sisters. Long story short, he visited both my sisters and my mum. And you can ask Heather this. I go, "Well, when is it my turn? Then when's he going to come and see me?" And I was working late on the railway, and I'd come home about midnight, and I would sit on the sofa with all the lights out. Heather thought I was going bloody mad. I was sat on the sofa for about 3 or 4 hours a night, saying, "Come on, Dad, where are you? Come on, have a chat with me." And the only thing that somebody explained it to me, because I handled the death of my dad quite well. I was quite strong for the rest of everybody else.
Yeah.
But my mum and my 2 sisters were like crumbling. And
went where he was
apparently
needed.
he'll go and visit the people that are
Yeah.
like just to steady him up.
Yeah, he went where it was needed.
But how long ago afterward? It was quite a few years afterwards. I never saw my dad,
Mm.
but I took Catherine and Thomas to visit his grave. Just me, Catherine and Thomas. We visited his grave, and as God's my witness, it had been overcast all day.
Yeah.
Not a blink of sun, nothing, right? And I swear on my kids' lives, we were all sat round the grave, and I said to me, and I was talking to my dad, and Catherine and Thomas were just sat there, just looking at his grave, and I said, I hope Granddad's all right up there, and because you obviously never got to meet him, and he was a lovely man, and hopefully you'll get to see him one day. And I swear on my kids' lives, the sun beam just came down and hit the grave, and it was shining nowhere else, and it freaked me out massively. But I kept it together for the kids, and then I went home, told my mum, and she goes, "That was your dad," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not having this," but apparently it was.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
freaked me out.
So there we go.
You
So
reckon that was my dad then?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So Neil's posted up. He said,
Why not?
"I thought my dad was there. Showed mother. She said only some of it."
Sorry, second.
Right. So Neil said, "I thought my dad was there."
Yeah.
And Neil said he showed his mum.
Yeah.
She said only some of it.
What is?
Some of what?
What I
Um,
say.
yeah, I would think some of what you said was.
Yeah, but then again,
The thing is, so I do remember that I said this person was never a large person, but he lost weight towards the end of his life, and he gave me the impression that he had something that would have affected all of his body. But you said he passed without a massive heart attack.
Yeah, walk.
So that's not the same thing, but that doesn't mean he didn't have something wrong with him that would have affected all his body. He just didn't pass with it. But I need to know what bits you didn't understand, and whether the scene with the bedroom makes sense, because that was very clear.
Yeah. Right. She said, okay. She said, yeah. Showed mother. She said only some of it, and then it's posted again wrong true. So only some of it wrong true.
Yeah, I just wondered what bits.
Yeah. Can you remember what? Can you remember what bits rang true, Neil?
Well, whilst Neil's doing that, have you anyone else had an apparition?
Yeah. So Karen, you've had any
No,
experiences?
No.
No.
The only thing, after my dad died, funny enough, we used to go driving along the seafront like cruise night, as you do.
Mm.
We were parked up, and then this older looking man who was the double of my dad looked like across the road. And I had to do a double take.
How did you feel about it?
It freaked me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was only young, so yeah. But that's probably the one and only ever.
How old were you when you got that?
19.
19.
So this will be a different thing for you and Rudy because you see spirit.
Well, we
Yeah,
said-
there's a
we
difference
said-
between-
Yeah, I was going to
So I would.
go on to
yeah.
say there is a difference between
Yeah.
seeing spirit and seeing an actual apparition. So
So I did see one at Upminster Station.
yeah,
You'll know this because you did the scene on, didn't you? But
Yep.
when you get on the underground,
Yep.
because I was going to the Heathway,
Yep.
I'd get off and I'd go right to the end because I'd want to get off closest to the Heathway
Yep.
entrance.
Yep.
And also I was coming on the platform, and this guy came legging it down the stairs right in front of me and jumped into the end carriage, and I hesitated for a minute because I thought it's late at night, do I really want to be in a carriage with a bloke?
Mm.
But you know they're really
Mm.
short stops. So I kept going, got in, and there was nowhere to be seen.
Mm.
I thought, okay, hang on a minute, maybe he was in the driver's thing. Like, I wasn't dressed like a driver, he was in a t-shirt and jeans. But so when we got to the next stop, I got off and looked, there was no one in the driver's thing because it goes that way.
Mm.
So no, I didn't see him, not at all. But my my friend used to work at Upminster Station, and he said the number of suicides
Oh yeah, number of
and the
suicides
number
and
of people
stuff,
that just
I mean,
yeah.
Mm.
Or would
Right.
jump in front of the train, not you
Yeah.
know, obviously not
Yeah.
in it. So perhaps I misjudged where he was going. But he was just nowhere.
Oh, the railway is just like littered with ghosts and.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
I used
I
to,
bet it is.
when I drove on the sea line, some night, some evenings, you had to pull into Liverpool Street, and then there's some old buildings with like open windows and dilapidated windows, and you're going through this like dark bit, and I'd like look and you honestly, I swear you could see some figures in there at times,
Mm.
and as you come out of Pitsea, in between Pitsea and Benfleet, there's a church. Is it St Margaret's?
St Margaret's,
St
yeah.
Margaret's. I'll never forget it. It was a moonlit night. Perfect, really, for like ghosts and that. It was a moonlit night. I'll never forget it. And it was cold, very very cold. And I was coming from Pitsea to Benfleet. As I was approaching St Margaret's, I looked. I always looked at the graveyard and that,
Mm.
and there was like a mist on the graveyard.
Yeah.
And it must have been somebody walking through the graveyard because I saw a figure walking through the graveyard, and I thought, who's out there at that time of night?
I don't think you're the only one that's seen that.
Yeah, quite a few of the drivers I used to drive with have said, yeah, they've seen a figure. And they said, whereabouts did you see it? I told them exactly where I saw it. They went, yeah, we always see it, but everyone who's seen it has seen it in the exact same spot in the
Yeah.
graveyard. So
Was that's where that bridge is? I've dealt with a suicide.
Yeah.
I've had one suicide.
Yeah, this-
story.
If it's doing the same thing over and over again, it will be a ghost, not a
Mm.
spirit.
they're ghosts.
Yeah. So
What's the difference between a ghost and a spirit?
so
then?
a
That's what
ghost
I would
is
say.
like almost like a recording in time. So
Mm.
when they say there's a white lady that walks along the top of the castle walls, you can stand there and it'll just go through you. You won't feel
Mm.
anything. You can talk to it and it won't change its route. It'll just keep doing what it's doing.
Yeah.
Sort of
Whereas the
replay.
spirit will
Yeah.
not respond.
So what's an apparition then? Is that
I
different?
don't know. See, I would say
Okay.
an apparition is a ghost, but maybe not.
Well, that's
maybe,
why-
maybe it's a blanket term for all sorts of things.
But
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
in-
it's a mixture of
Yeah.
a lot of things.
But you can then interact with it.
You can interact with the spirit because it's the soul of the person
Yeah.
that's gone. But a ghost is like it's recorded in time. It just keeps doing the same
Mm.
thing over. It's not even there. You're just watching.
It's like a
something.
video playing over.
Yeah.
and over
I know
again.
when we was talking about North Weald,
Yeah.
which I didn't have a chance to go to, but I'll get it done this week. and I left the camera on lock off. And when I went over the footage, I didn't really see anything there, but you could hear the footsteps, and you could hear orders being shouted. It's like, you don't get back. But yeah, but it was just there. Didn't feel like there was anything.
Yeah.
But there's other people have reported the hearing steps and.
So that would be a spirit then, if it's an actual physical.
I mean that.
If you can interact with it. So a lot of
Mm,
ghosts will have their legs missing, or they look like they're floating above the ground, and that's because at the time when they were doing what they keep doing, the floor was at a different level.
yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't tell you if that was spirit or just the stone tape thing, because I wasn't there to interact with anything. All I got was what my camera recorded, and it was the footsteps, and it was the hearing the order being shouted.
So I don't know if sound can be recorded in time. Maybe it can.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, because they say, oh, we hear see a white lady and she's wailing. So
What about Evie?
Yeah.
Cries from a baby crying, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
and there's a sound about when I found old pottery, and I've been able to get sounds out of the pottery.
Really?
Yeah, because it records like a wax record.
All right, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works then. So we've got apparition, ghost, spirit.
Mm.
What's the poltergeist?
That's your answer.
yeah,
Spirit.
go on.
I was about to say, what's a poltergeist?
It's just a little spirit trying to get your attention.
Yeah,
It's
like that.
noisy, that makes the noises. It's like a noisy ghost.
Yeah, well, it's just the German
German
translation. It's noisy spirit.
When
But
it's noisy spirit, when you think, what is our spirit? Our spirit's our soul, it's our consciousness. It's a noisy mind.
Isn't that weird though? That went off when I said poltergeist.
But it's not gone off again.
Yeah, no, poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Spirit.
Weird, though.
so it's just,
Sorry, has he come back?
right. Yeah, yes. He says, hello Heather. This chat seems to be working all right. So, but, hey, so yeah, Heather's just coming.
No, I thought you said he said that. Sorry. I
No.
was just being facetious.
Right. So Neil said the front room discrimination, looking old and frail with a stick.
Okay. But he can't take the bedroom.
But you can't take the bedroom. Anywho, Adam, can you pick up anything from my stepdad John? Hang on. Can you pick up on anything? Anywho, Adam, can you pick up anything from my stepdad John? Mum scattered his ashes Friday afternoon.
Who's that?
John will be his stepdad.
Oh, that's Neil saying that.
Yeah,
Was he asking you? I thought you said Adam.
he did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really getting anything.
Oh, it's
Uh-oh.
a dog.
No.
Big dog now.
Dog's into the chat.
Now this is not an apparition.
That is not an apparition. That is
Shut the
a
door.
collie that's still very much a puppy. Anyhow, I personally don't, but I mean, if John wants to come through, I'm
just
sure.
sit quietly and see if he'll show up.
Yeah.
But,
Also,
So-
cameo appearance.
Yeah, I mean, John, if you do want to come through, at least you've got the ideal opportunity to do so, and we'll try and pass on any message that we'll have for Neil and or his mum. So we'll wait and see what happens, Neil. So we can't guarantee anything, but if something comes through, then we'll pass it on by all means. So, Rudy, apparitions, have you witnessed anything?
Yeah. I mean, you see what sorry, mate. I've seen a few things. Obviously, ghosts, whatever, some phenomenons. Apparitions, if you like cloud of mist. But it's just energy, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's an energy form.
Yeah.
We can create apparitions as well. They're usually called thought forms. If your mind's powerful, you can do an awful lot. With the mind, it's just unbelievable what you can do.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
about it, really.
yeah. Well, I'm just going to.
So what's an orb?
that's spirit in its purest form.
Yeah.
So our souls naturally are just balls of
Why,
energy.
why wouldn't all be in your room? Is that like a
It's
sign?
rare
or-
for an orb to be in your room.
Right. Well, you can ask my
Sometimes they
Karen
do.
this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no, I believe you.
We were sat on the sofa back at our old house, and we were. I'd just done my Reiki course, and we were burning a joystick and we were playing Reiki music, and everything was quite spiritual night, and the energy was quite high in there, and you know, because Karen's does bits and bobs, you know, and it literally, I said, Karen, look at that, and it was an orb about that big, about as big as a marble.
You saw it with your eyes.
Yeah, me and Karen literally watched it. It come from the one side of the room and it travelled towards both of us, and I was just sat there staring at it, and it went like that, and it came right between us, and then it just disappeared. And we literally just watched it float across the room. We're like, oh my god! And then we were watching it, and it went disappeared.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not.
Mm.
So that's spirit. So we don't look like this in the spirit world, and so so spirit in its purest form is just a ball of light, because that's what we are. In fact, there's been a study that has shown that we emit light, and when we die, that light literally goes out. It's been a scientific study that shows our light literally just stops shining when we die. And that's because I believe that's because our soul leaves our body. So our soul is just energy. It's pure light, and and that's why when they come back to talk to us, they don't always remember things that you might remember. So, for example, if I had your granddad here, and he went, "Do you remember the time that I don't know, squeezed tomato ketchup on my plate and ended up on the wall?" And you go, No, so it can't be my granddad because I don't remember that, but he does. It might be important for him. So that's the thing, because we don't need our bodies anymore. We don't need our names. We don't need our ages. We don't need our addresses or our possessions or anything that we had in the physical world. We only need our experiences. That's what we take back with us. So when they come back to try and communicate with someone that they've left behind, they've got to try and remember the things they don't even need anymore. But they're not even interested anymore. It's irrelevant.
You can't use it, can they?
So- And I guess I'm guessing the longer they're over there, the more difficult it is.
Right.
Or we're just shit mediums. I don't know. Oh, I said the S word. Sorry.
It's all right, it's half
I
past.
know I've heard you.
It's 9:30.
Yeah.
Can
So
we swear then?
Eh?
Can we swear?
Sporadic.
Oh, sorry.
I want all the time, like a
No,
Tourette's.
no.
Get a bit off.
I
Yeah.
mean,
So
you
that's
say-
when you see an orbit. It's
You
spirit.
say a crack medium, right? But
I was joking.
no, I'm
I
just,
might be.
I'm just saying. Mediums work at different levels, don't they? Some more than others, and some do this, some do that.
Mediums work in different ways.
And different levels, different ways, different sort of energy, kind of, manipulating energies and whatever. And these the fake ones, obviously, you know them because they ask questions all the time, and but I'm saying that we're all at different levels, different what do they call it?
Abilities.
No.
Abilities.
Different stages up the ladder, because we're all sort of progressing as we come back. We progress to enlightenment, whatever it is.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
a different ability
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah. So we're at different stages, different levels. Some of us are at different levels. Some are, when you sort of, someone has a baby and you say, oh, and the baby sort of looks at you. You think, oh, there's an old soul, typical, so that kind of thing. Because they've been here before many times, God knows how many times, but we do come back and learn stuff and go back again and come back again if we want to learn something else,
So is a medium a person in reincarnation?
No.
I'm just trying to pick out
Just
what.
connect,
so-
disconnect.
Everyone can do it. Medium's not anything special. Any person in the entire world can speak to dead people
Just
because
change
it's the
the
most natural thing in the world. And children are that's why children are so susceptible to spirit. And they imaginary friends are not imaginary friends. They're spirit visitors. And kids talk to them like they're there, and they can see them because they are.
up to a
So
certain
then when they
age.
get to that 7, between sort of 7 and 11, they lose that. It's like they don't need it anymore because they're here and they have to focus on being in the physical world. And of course, that just takes over.
Yeah,
it's the
'cause they
same with
do-
elderly people.
They build material blocks in your head and get to the material world then.
Yeah.
And it blocks out all
So
that.
show children in their purest form, basically.
Basically,
So
yeah.
there's just no reason. Mediums will be completely redundant in century maybe. People will just be able to chat to their loved ones because we are all connected. We're connected to everyone in the world and everyone up there and everything in the cosmos. Speaking to other races and other species and
Yeah.
our dead loved ones should be the most natural thing in the world. It's not a big hoo-ha, it's not a big deal, it's just how it is.
That blew my noodles off when I could speak to different alien species. I'm thinking, you're not even human, and you're thinking they don't have to be human, do they? And because they're different energy forms. You just link in and but some of them are so advanced that you can they tell you things.
Right. Can somebody explain this then? I connect really well, and I've been used, and I didn't realise that I did, because I thought it was just because I know how to train horses. But when there's been a troubled horse at a show that I've been to, and
Horse
people know
whisperer.
that, yeah, I don't like to go down that line, but I've been able to connect with horses, and I've grown up with horses all my life,
There you go.
and
You understand them. That's it.
I kind of like spirit. I kind of like, and I don't know what it is. It is weird because I like sit on the fence with all of this, but when I was,
As long as it's not an electric one.
no,
Yeah.
probably not. Does that I don't know how to explain it. I can like connect with horses
You
better,
have an
but
affinity with them.
Because you understand them. Because you've grown up with them.
You've grown up with them.
It's normal.
yeah, because you have people that have like done the same as me, grown up with horses, this, that, and the other, and they won't go into the horse box. They will not go into that lorry. Yet I can go there and I can literally spend 5 minutes with the horse, and everybody's away. Everybody has to walk away. I can spend 5 minutes with that horse,
Yeah.
and literally it will follow me into that box.
That's your skill. That's good.
I want to tell you all something that happened to me when I was at St Matthew's Church in Peters, Pete Shepherd's Street, right? And he had the public coming in, and we had to sit them down, one-to-one kind of thing.
Oh, one-to-one readings, right? Yeah.
One-to-one reading, and I've got this older lady coming, and she goes, I'm sitting with her. I says, I can see this like cube with you. She went, her face, it just went, I can't believe you saw my she goes, I can't believe you saw my alien friend. I thought, yeah, it's not a cube. I described it, and she's like, I can't believe you
So
seen
her
that.
alien friend was a cube.
Yeah, it's
Was
like
it called Aurak?
Yeah.
Was it with Blake Seven?
No, seriously, I'm serious.
remember
I'm
that.
serious.
Peter Tubman done the voice.
Like, so-
Yeah.
And she was like blown away with it, because I said I was the only one that could see this thing. Because Gloria, she's had dealings as well, isn't it?
Oh, too many now.
Yeah, and since I brought that other guy through as well, I can't say guy because I don't even know
Oh, bloody racy.
what race or sex.
We thought he was up to him, but he's not, is he?
No.
I
No,
don't know what it is.
I've seen where he comes from, and he's not anything that's been discovered yet. A long way off. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen any apparitions?
Well, I haven't. Nothing that springs to mind, but I have caught one on camera. Now there is debate, and some people try to say, "Oh, it's not. It's one of the crew." But it was on the second night where the second time we visited Rattendon, and that was when with Tracy, Vicky, and all that group, Julie, Mark, and so on. And Tracy got off with the Tracy, with what was Tracy Cam, do her bit, and that's when we got the EVP, what we presume was Pat saying, "Fuck you, Cameron."
Yeah.
But one of my subscribers saw it, and he said, and I said, "Can you timestamp it for me?" And when I looked, you can see these legs
Oh wow.
walking along. Of course, some of the people say, "Oh, he's one of his crew," and like that. But no, they was all back with me at that point. there was no one over there. So what were these white legs walking along? Was it one of the three? Was it something different? I really don't know. So there was that, and then I mean, there's an Orbit experience I've had, which I think I've spoken about a few times, and you was there when at the Guildhall
Yeah.
when I felt my legs go cold and said that girl's just.
Oh, was
come
I
over
doing the
to me.
SDs then?
Yeah, you done it. Yeah, later on when we
Okay.
helped her out, but that when we was in the council chamber.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
remember that? And I said my legs are gone cold.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
girl's with me.
Yeah.
And when I looked over the video footage, shortly before you hear me say that, this orb comes over to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, then just after the orb come over to me, that's when you hear me say, "Oh, I feel my legs gone cold." The girl's with me. So, you know, those are sort of quite personal experiences, really. But yeah, that leg, what those legs were, I don't know.
Oh, legs.
Just a pair of legs. Probably walking around trying to find the rest of the body.
Close legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit weird. Neil, I did ask your dad if he wanted to come back, your stepdad, and I got in my head a 5 and an 8. I really hate being given numbers because it can mean anything. So it's either 58, an age, or maybe a door number, or the year 1958, which is significant, or the 5th of August. It's August next month? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
If you can take that number, then I'll keep working with you. But if it's not relevant, then I'm going to put that down to just my mind doing that, because I've acknowledged it and I'm passing it on to you. But I'm not working any further with whoever this is. If it's not for you, because I'll end up taking him home with me, or whoever it is,
Yeah,
and
you're in there.
end up giving him out to someone else. Yeah.
Mm.
So, but that is what came into my head when you asked. So.
Okay, so Neil, if those numbers have any,
I just said give me something
Connection
that
with
would be,
you.
yeah.
yeah, like Doris said, it could be an age of 58, a door number 58, or it could be 5 and an 8.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it could be 5 and
the
8 or
the
the
5th of August. So, but yeah, if either those two numbers ring any significance to you, then let us know, and maybe we can work further. If not, it's
Yeah.
something for Gloria to deal with when she goes home.
Adam, what did,
Yes.
what did I get last time I was here? Because I said to you about something, didn't I? I picked up, but I never said anything, did I?
A water, some rough seas, and a
That's right.
That's
yeah.
it. I've
Yeah.
still got that now. Got it here right now when you're talking to Neil.
Okay.
So,
That's
Neil.
connected with Neil.
Neil, can I, is any member of your family or to do with the sea, nautical or
Past or
boats
present.
or anything, past or present? Can you let me know if there is or there isn't? Thank you, mate.
let me know if there is.
There's or there isn't.
It is difficult doing it like this.
Either way, let us know.
Yeah.
I'm getting stormy seas very strong. I had it last week we were seeing it won't go away, and that's how I know that something there.
Mm.
I'm not quite sure what it is.
So what are shadow people then?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ah,
I
yes.
haven't got a clue what shadow people
You sound a torch.
are. Other than that,
Oh.
That's where people come out shadow people they see in the corner.
Mm.
It's like the things you see,
in
In
peripheral vision.
peripheral.
but,
Peripheral vision.
and they got their shadow people because they're a bit freaky, aren't they? Because you don't know what they are.
No, when I usually see something nasty.
Yeah, see, I don't do nasty.
No,
So.
when I see something nasty, I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
When I see something nasty, it hides.
Mm.
And that's how I know I don't want nothing to do with that. You know, you go away. Because
It's in the
they're not.
shadows.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
Shine.
it doesn't present itself.
So I'm saying.
There's a whole lot of stuff on Google about him. He's called the Shadow Man. People claim they've seen it. I had a conversation with someone on Facebook about it. She went, "Are you telling me that the three of us could see the same thing? It's not real." I said, "Your collective mind is very powerful. I could say to you, can you see that over there? Like, just a weird shape." And you go, But then you keep looking, and then you see something in the corner, and you go, "Yeah, I can see it. There's nothing there. I just said it." And then someone else will look and go, and then before you know it, nobody wants to be left out. It's been
Collective,
psychologically proven, yeah.
Mm.
It's been psychologically proven and studied that you
That's
can make
happening
a
now.
whole group of people believing something.
That's more psychosomatic than it is
So,
reality.
absolutely, and a lot of demons and attachments
Okay,
are
bigger than being
psychosomatic.
psychological.
Well, psychological, but yeah,
So I've got.
we'll let you have that.
Me and you got different points of view of this because I've experienced it. I've been.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen
I'm
it
not, no,
on
and I've
sound,
never said they don't
been
exist.
through it.
Yet they exist for the person that can see them because they have created them, so they are there.
Not
Our
necessarily-
minds can create anything.
No, I'm not
It's
talking
so
about my
powerful.
mind. I'm talking about seeing other stuff that maybe other people created,
Yeah, so
or
they exist.
they've let in,
Mm.
they've let through.
So there's, I can see that like the two sides, what you're saying, which I fully get.
Your mind
that
is.
The
some
evil-
I'm
people
not
could-
The
disagreeing.
evil is here on earth.
I'm not
Only
disagreeing
here.
with you because that your mind is a very powerful
Absolutely.
and we don't know a lot about the mind, really. I don't know 20% of the brain as it is, you know. So
No, we use it all. We just don't use more than 15% at one time. If we did, we'd probably explode.
Yeah, or we'd be eating food like no tomorrow. So I'm still waiting for one. Anyway,
Or taking
but-
loads of ibuprofen because the brain's not
yeah.
up.
So I mean, the both what you're both saying can be true. It
Yeah.
can be a manifest of the mind.
Yeah.
Um,
And I've been to
But-
see people who have exactly what I'm really saying. They've got someone in their house, stands in the corner of their room, they're freaked out by it, and then it turns out they haven't been taking their medication,
yeah.
or they haven't had their dose adjusted,
Mm.
or they've been told by another medium
Yeah.
they have an attachment.
So it's
That's
plant-
all it
planted
takes.
in the red.
Tiny little
Well,
seed in your head, and it
Mm.
germinates. Doesn't matter who tells you. Once it's there, that's it.
when it involves you, as in myself,
Yeah.
it was with me a long time.
Yeah, maybe you're saying you're a child, and it was a curse from your mum or your
Yeah,
nan.
it
or
was
way
with me
back.
a long. You,
So you're going to believe that because
No,
you're a child.
no, I didn't. No, when everyone came into contact, they could smell this mustiness. You know, like
Everyone who came in contact with what?
with me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you were
I didn't know what you meant. Sorry.
Every, you know, if I talk to someone, like it's like an old smell. You know, like a
Decaying.
decaying, rotting smell, right? And that was there for ages. That wouldn't go until I had to do something. I had something, you know, met someone, and they took me to someone else, and it was dealt with, taken away. And after that, fine, everything was fine, good. Didn't affect that no more. Didn't have that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I strongly believe that, you know, there
So
are.
that's all I was
things
gonna
that-
say.
But that happened because someone had given it to someone in your family. They had given the curse
Yeah,
and they had
Well,
suggested it was
it's
there.
the weak link, what I call the weak link in the chain.
Yeah.
No,
So I'm not
usually
saying they
the
don't
youngsters-
exist. I'm saying they don't come from the outside. They're created in the mind by someone, and they can be passed down generations. We know
Yeah,
about
they obviously
generational
used
curses.
the energy that was
Yeah.
there for nastiness.
But it was a person. It was
Yeah.
like a physical human being.
Do you know, a weird example
Created
of
that.
that. Do you remember the Forbidden Planet?
I remember
The
that.
old sci-fi film with Leslie
Yeah,
Nielsen.
brilliant film, yeah.
And they go to and they discover
Creatures of the
this,
Deep, wasn't it?
yeah. That it is such a good film. I might have it on DVD.
Yeah.
It might even be on YouTube
I'd look.
because
It's
it's
probably on
it's
Prime.
60, 70 years old.
That's an old film, but it's very
It's,
good.
it's brilliant. It was one of the first films. Robbie the Robot is in it.
Oh, yeah,
You know, outer space.
yeah.
Was it? Is it outer
Lost
space?
in Space.
Lost in space. That's it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so
one.
Robbie the Robot is where he first appears in Forbidden Planet. And yeah, there was the gentleman and his daughter. They were the only people, so only ones left on this outpost. And this, our flying saucer, the seeds are there already. This flying saucer being flown by humans has gone to visit the outpost to find out what's going on. And when they go into it and they basically find out that there was another race there, the Krell or Krell.
Krell, and they
Krell.
left equipment now. And
Yeah.
they boosted his.
That's it, and it
boosted his
used to
mind.
bump, yeah,
all-
and it used to bump their IQ up, and it done it to such an extent
it was
that
great.
they could create things by thought, anything they needed. But the problem was, the subconscious is very primeval, so it was
Yeah.
creating these creatures that will go and attack anything and anyone, and that creature was symptomatic of the gentleman that was there because he boosted his own IQ to the same.
And if you got
Point.
upset, this is when it manifested.
Yeah,
you got upset or threatened, this creature would manifest and start killing everyone.
I really want to go watch it again.
That's
As I
brilliant.
say, it's a very, very old film. It's like the first proper sci-fi film, and it's brilliant.
Anyway, but yeah,
Because now I'm thinking with eyes now, there's a freaking story in there. There's a bloody story to be told in that forbidden planet.
yeah, I know, yeah, yeah.
But we create our own issues.
We do.
Yeah, we can create our own issues.
You
but
can think yourself
Yeah.
ill, like truly. You can give yourself
I'll
all
go
sorts
for
of
that.
illnesses.
I'll go for that.
So my point, Rudy, is I'm not saying you didn't have that. I'm saying it was created in the physical by someone many generations ago
Well,
who cursed your family, but it was a human being who did it to someone else.
yeah, they have.
It wasn't spirit who
Well,
came in and did it.
No,
It's
they
not
have to. They have to have that physicalness to.
Mm.
to
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing I was going to
So
say.
what I mean is, like, sorry, demons and
Yeah.
evil spirits don't exist. They are all from the mind, whether they're given to you or whether you create them yourself.
That
I
was
mean,
debatable for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had this conversation before, but I think
We're not going to agree on everything.
no. But
No,
is it
of course
possible that those more negative entities don't come from this realm? They come from a different dimension.
Yeah.
Come from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
so,
our
so, that,
consciousness.
so
So if
technically,
you
yeah.
think,
Yeah.
the whole point of the whole physical about dying, and your soul leaving your body and going back to the consciousness, it's not good or bad. It's energy.
No,
That's all
but
it
that's-
is.
that's-
Just
that's-
It's a
that's-
transfer. It's a transfer.
and it's a scientific process.
Yeah, but
There's
this-
no good or
this-
bad
this
in
is our-
science.
but that is the dimension that we work in. I'm talking about maybe
But it's still science.
separate dimensions, which
And we think like that
Mm.
because we're human. And as human beings, we have the greed and the power and the anger and
There's
the
the negative.
jealousy
yeah.
and
There's
the
all
envy, and
negatives.
it's all here. And it's only when we leave our bodies and we go back
Yeah.
and understand, wow, we really thought some weird stuff down there. But yeah, of course we did, because that was the experience we wanted to have.
yeah.
And
Mm.
I just
Yeah, I agree.
energy
I agree.
cannot be evil.
That's a
It's,
tragedy.
it's just energy. It doesn't have a motive to that. But maybe when I die, I'll be proved wrong. And then I'm going to hell and being surrounded by demons.
Oh, right, yeah, that has frozen.
No way.
Right,
Have
so,
you frozen?
yeah, it stopped on the
Good,
last
I
one. I
wanna
wonder what's
get a
happening. Right, so,
It just moved, but it had you getting up earlier.
So I just
In-
need to drink.
right,
Yeah,
so,
message you.
Oh,
yeah, so Nilsson's posted in the centre of the garden
Yeah.
for his honour.
Yeah.
I think that was going back. Right, I'm just going to read. Right,
Yeah.
so it's too. Oh, Heather's just mentioned about being too warm in here. And then Neil said, "High volts. That's some fence." John died 16th of May last year. He was 84, and he said he worked on steam engines in his early life.
Oh.
He was a lovely man, a true gentleman. And Glenn says hello from Harlow. And
I
yeah,
don't know
and we
them.
say hello back to you and hello Harlow. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, I just need to double check
Yeah.
because that
doesn't mean anything.
feeds. Yeah, so that feed appears to have frozen, even though that hasn't. Okay, so right, so I might have to stay behind and just keep an eye on the chat. That's odd.
Yeah,
But
it's
so-
interesting.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry I can't get your dad through then, Neil. I don't know who this is.
so yeah, so it can be a negative stuff can be a manifest. Could also be different dimensions. I know that's something that we put our own, our own thought processes to.
Because we're human.
Yeah. But
as
then
you
we,
progress, you begin to understand that's not.
But no one
It doesn't
knows.
make sense. There's
No one
logic
knows
to
where
it.
we come from.
No.
So I mean, there's many things on the planet, or world on the planet, that we don't know about, or
Yeah.
the origins of,
yeah,
including us. So
We come from fish, don't we? We come from fish, don't we?
Do it.
Yeah, we just evolved, started growing
Hmm.
stuff and.
yeah, we walked out on our
I don't know
fins
what
and
that's happened.
just grew arms and legs and
Very
stuff.
slowly,
Yeah.
over many years, and
Yeah.
there are some people who still drag their knuckles because they haven't quite evolved. But
Yes. Yeah, I
Right,
think.
Jeff, you got a lot of evolving to do then.
I was not referring to Jeff, I was
Oh,
short
sorry.
arms, but, you know,
Let's not go on about my monkey hands again, thank you very much.
gorilla hands.
Yeah.
Gorilla hands.
So, well, there we go.
That's quite interesting.
Why do you
isn't
get a
it?
drop in temperature when there's a ghost around?
Oh,
Yeah. Now that's something I've experienced. Yeah.
What makes the temperature drop?
Don't know. I don't know. I have
Maybe it's
no
an
idea.
energy draw for the spirit.
Maybe because they're just
Oh,
a
the
spirit and
story.
they've got no body, so there's no heat. But when you work with spirit, you become warm.
That's what I mean. There's no.
There's hot and cold, so you
Don't know.
Mm.
both.
I have no idea.
Yeah, why did you get cold and shivery when
Yeah.
there's
It's when you walk into a place, isn't it?
Mm.
And spirit are there, and then you feel it. When you're
Mm.
working with them and you've invited them in, you find you get
Energy.
warmer, yeah. So perhaps they're
Because it's moving.
what's the word? Their dormant state is cold because they've got no body. We're
Mm.
only hot because we've got
Thermal.
So it's
Yeah.
not- So on a thermal camera, will it show up as a hot spot or cold spot?
It would show up as well. It'd show up as either, but it would be different to its surroundings. Do you remember that? I took the thermal because I got that
Yeah.
thermal camera.
yeah,
We was at St Peter's on the Wall,
yeah.
and there was a spot on the wall that shouldn't be a different colour, but it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it's because the candle was there. Because when I went over to the other side of the wall where there was candles, it was different. It's really weird.
It'd be good in conjunction with the SLS, wouldn't it?
Mm.
So if you sort of stick and then put the thermal camera there and see if it.
Maybe it's because spirits everywhere. I mean, they don't live somewhere. They're just here, and there's probably thousands of them in this room that we're not even aware of.
Mm.
But maybe you walk into a place and you become aware of them rather than them being aware of you, and that's when you feel they're cold. And
Yeah.
when they are aware of you and they interact with you, that's when they're
Mm.
warmer.
You might see people get just like someone's walked over my grave. You get
Yeah.
shivers.
Mm.
Well, it's like,
Like that
you
moves
can,
through, not.
Yeah.
yeah,
Possibly.
you can move in. You can,
Someone's sitting right where
you
you
can
are.
move into different time zones. It's just, you know, your mind can go into different time zones. You can go forward, backwards, whenever.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as time,
Yeah, no,
according
no,
to the
yeah.
mind.
No, there isn't.
Have you?
It's
So,
right now.
have any of you had a situation where there's been a drop in temperature?
Yeah, many
Yeah.
times. many
Okay.
times. Yeah, I mean, I was at a healing thing, and people give me healing, and this woman come over to me, and all of a sudden, all the shutters come down because something with this woman wasn't right. You
Right.
know, whoever was protecting me just put the
Yeah,
shutters
it said right. Yeah, that woman's coming nowhere near
and
you.
later on, I found out why later, but that's another story. But
Mm.
yeah, sure. But
So-
yeah, you can feel different.
Mm.
You know, when you say like you just said, someone's walked over your grave.
You go all
didn't you?
shivery.
You know, we're susceptible to changes, yeah, in vibration, yeah, very much so.
Good. So what was your experience, Jeff?
Karen will back me up with this one. We were in the house where we saw the orb, so this might be connected actually, if you think about it. And this right, I was working late, Karen were getting up early, so I said I'll sleep in Thomas's room, my son's room, when because he obviously lived with his mum. I said I'll sleep in Thomas's room. So I went to bed in there, and through the early hours of the morning, I don't know what time it was, I felt a depression on the bed. Somebody sit on the end of the bed,
Yeah.
and I was facing the wall. Now listen to this, right? I was facing the wall, and I was like half awake, half asleep, and then I felt it go up, and then the door shut, the bedroom door shut, and then I heard someone go downstairs. And I got up and I woke up and I thought, oh, that must have been Karen. And I thought, oh, okay. So I got up and I opened the door and I went to the top of the stairs, and I shouted to Karen. I went, I'll be down in a sec. I said, stick kettle on, I'll have a coffee with you. Then she went, and I heard a voice going, I'm actually in bed. And I'm like, what?
Mm.
She says, I'm in bed. I went, yeah, you just come and sat on the bed.
Yeah.
And she went, no, I haven't. I've been here all the time.
Right.
I'm like, okay, right, well, and I explained it to her. And then we both went into the bedroom, and Karen's got some sort of like, she senses sort of thing, as you all know.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
senses things, and her mum is very good at doing this sort of thing. And we went into that room, and Karen felt kind of like a presence type thing. And in that room, there's like built-in water, like a built-in cupboard,
Yeah.
and it's split in two with a plastered wall, a plastered dividing wall. One side is the airing cupboard, and it was on.
Yeah.
The immersion tank was on, so it was red up, yeah?
Yeah.
The other side was like a wardrobe where you hang up clothes.
Yeah.
Now Karen opened that door and she looked in there. Now all that wall, the dividing wall, was warm, as you'd expect,
Yeah, yeah,
because it's next to
yeah.
the immersion heater. Dead centre of that wall, she pointed to it. And I went, what? She goes, it's there. I went, what is? She goes, the spirit, it's there. I'm like, oh, it's a wall. And she went, it's there.
Yeah.
And I put my hand exactly where she pointed,
Mm.
and the wall was absolutely freezing. That one spot about that round was freezing. All
Right.
around it was hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, this is freaking me out now. We were talking about it, and a week later, Karen never told her mum.
Yeah.
Karen's mum come over with a stepdad, and I said I told her about it, that I've got like a present somewhere have you, but we never told her what room, we never told her how and anything. And Karen promised me that she never told her mum, and her mum went, I know where it is.
Mm.
I'm like, okay. And she went, right, follow me. She went, oh, and she'd never been in my house before, and Karen never told her.
Yeah.
And even if Karen did tell her, she'd have bloody forgot anyway.
Mm.
She literally walked straight up the stairs, straight into Thomas's room, opened the cupboard door and went there and pointed to the exact same spot. And I'm like, right, I'm out of here. I'm like, right, there's something going on here. I rung up my landlord
Yeah.
and I went, right, Michael, I said, this is what happened. I told him exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And he went, Thomas's room is the back bedroom, yeah? Next to the first one as you come up to the steps. Stairs. I went, yeah. He goes, yeah, that was my old room. I went, yeah. He goes, the people that had the house before my mum and dad. He said, there were a little boy died in that room. And I'm like, right. So I got to go to the little boy. He goes, yeah, I used to talk to him when I was a kid. I'm like, right, okay, cool, and okay, fine. And apparently, we used to hear Thomas talking. We thought it was his ADHD or whatever, but when Thomas was a kid, he used to sit in there,
Yeah.
and I used to lay in bed with Carrie. I used to lay in bed, and I used to listen to Thomas, and I was like, who the bloody hell is he talking to? And I'd go in there, and I'd go, who are you talking to? And he goes, my friend. And I'm like, all right, mate, cheers, sorry about that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I just shut the door, and I'm like, and I'd listen to him talking away, and I'm
Is
like,
that your
he's
place?
actually having a bloody conversation.
Imaginary friends.
Is
That's
that
what
your
Yeah.
place?
That was at the place I had before I got the place I got now.
Oh.
So
Honestly, mate, it was so weird. And every time I went into that room,
I saw unusual.
after that, I felt something. And I'm like,
Yeah, a lot of children are, you know.
some
You had them upstairs, didn't you? Here, yeah, I saw the kid up here, didn't I?
yeah.
And
Yeah, because that used to be, because I used to play on the Xbox in that room, and that used to be my room.
yeah.
And some nights I could feel something in that room, but obviously I was a doorman then, and I didn't believe in any of this.
Yeah.
And rah rah rah. And it'd be like, oh no.
So I mean, the question remains is how did the spirit make that spot go cold?
That's what I mean. What's the temperature?
Well, no.
What
What
is-
it was, I reckon, because what I think it was, saying I'm wrong if I'm wrong, but I think it was a portal that was open.
That's what Karen's mum
Like
said.
I saw around your place.
That's what Karen's mum said. She said it's where that spirit is, and it's trapped in here.
Yeah.
It's trapped in here.
Oh, it might have chosen to be there because it liked your son. And it
Yeah,
was his
and
friend.
maybe
No, she used to talk to Michael as well in my
Yeah,
landlord, and he's in his
well, you
30s.
can,
of course.
so
maybe you could
when
feel.
Emmett is
Whose happy is
free,
there?
when Emily was 3, she had an imaginary friend, which all kids have, and I thought nothing of it. And her imaginary friend was called Sydney, so I figured it was a little boy. It wasn't. It was a 16-year-old girl. Why wouldn't a child of 3 invent an imaginary friend who's got a boy's name but he's actually a girl when he's 16? So I said, where did you meet her? She said, I met her at the hospital when we were visiting Daddy. And she had this imaginary friend for, I don't know, about a year. And it became ridiculous. Like, can we set a place at the table for Sydney? Like, Emily would get the ump if there wasn't a. So we had a.
Wow.
If there wasn't a seat in the car where Sydney could sit, and she'd be like, "No, don't sit on Sydney." Like this Sydney was absolutely real for Emily.
So do they
And then
physically
she'd
see the
go-
body?
We'll
Yeah,
get to in a
she'd
minute,
see
Neil.
her, she'd sit and play with her. She'd hug her, and the way she was hugging her, it was like she was hugging a real person, right? So anyway, we had Sydney here, this, Sydney that, Sydney here, Sydney there. Well, I said, Mum, don't smoke. Sydney doesn't like it. That was the last straw. No, it wasn't. I was in the car. Anyway, because it became obsessive, Sydney had to come everywhere with us. We had to prepare for Sydney. We had to make sandwiches for Sydney. And so I said to Norman, who was president of the church time, I said, what am I going to do about Sydney? And I told him the story. He said, you just ask him to go. I said, it was a girl. He said, well, you can ask her to go. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. Before that, Emily was staying with my mum, and she was in the front room looking out of the front window, and she was crying, like loads of tears, screaming her head off, saying to my mum, get her out of the road, get her out of the road, she's going to die. This is how Sydney dies, you need to get her out of the road. And my mum's going, Emily, there's no one there. She's going, please, but she's hysterical. So mum has to bring Emily away from the window, and she's giving her a hug and everything, and Emily's going, she's going to die, this is how she dies. And at that point I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. So when Emily came home, she told me all about how she saw Sydney in the middle of the road, and she knew there was a car going to come and hit her. So I just said, we need to ask Sydney to leave. So we both said to her, Sydney, you know, it's been great having you here, but it's starting to interfere with Emily's development, and so we need to ask you not to be here anymore. So you're free to leave now. Emily doesn't even remember her. Sydney was I remember my imaginary friend. Emily remembers not a thing about Sydney. And I keep thinking, I wonder if I was able to go and look at the records, because Neil was in the I'm assuming it was in the high dependency unit that she met her. I don't know, because he was in a few of the wards before he passed. But I often think, I wonder if I went back, or if I spoke to someone and found out if there was ever a Sydney there who was in a car accident, got hit by a car and died.
Yeah,
It's
probably
really
just
weird for a
find out.
3-year-old child.
Very
to have
strange.
yeah.
Mm.
And
That
oh my God, it was
See,
just
that detail.
obsessive.
See, that's the problem, though, isn't it? I mean, when it gets an obsession like that,
If I'd understood it,
you know,
it may not have been. But at the time,
They'll
you know,
get
Neil had
someone.
passed, and I was there with like 3 kids, and like, I can't cope already, and this was just becoming completely obsessive.
yeah, I can imagine.
But if it happened now, if I had a child now and it happened, it would be.
You'd
it would be
understand
yeah, it would be
Mm.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I understood that imaginary friends are not imaginary; they're spirit.
Mm.
I just wasn't prepared for the whole she's going to get hit by a car, and
Yeah,
the
that-
outburst
Mm.
of hysteria. Yeah, my
Well,
mum
that's
said
the last straw.
she was
really.
sobbing. She couldn't get a breath. She was so upset
Yeah.
that she was going to watch Sydney die, because that's how Sydney died.
So was you getting going back? Was you getting any cold spots in that?
No,
What?
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
nothing. Well, there was a lot of cold spots in my house because
Yeah.
I guess Nick was around. But you know, I just wasn't really thinking about stuff like that. It was just
Yeah.
like, okay, she's got an imaginary friend, that's fine. And I thought maybe this imaginary friend is here because Emily needs someone. My time was taken up with the twins.
Yeah.
She just lost her dad, so
It's like a crisis.
yeah, and maybe
Yeah.
that's what Sydney was, a crisis friend.
Mm.
I don't know. But honestly, Emily does not remember a single
Would it-
thing.
Would it be an alter ego?
Nah.
Not for
Nothing like
real.
that. Or,
No, because as soon as I said you need to leave, she went.
so there's definitely some.
If I didn't say you had to leave, I said you can leave now.
So
She
you,
did.
you said it in the most kindest way.
Yeah, I said, you know,
possible.
we've really enjoyed having you here, and
Yeah.
you've been a really good friend for Emily when she's needed it, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, it's time for you to go.
But it's interrupting with.
And it's,
So-
yeah, and she went. And, well, I'm assuming she went, unless she's been very quiet.
Mm. So Karen, have you had any cold spot experiences? Anything?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all, no?
No.
Okay.
Just the little things in my flat, but no temperature.
You've not felt any
No
drops?
cold spots?
No.
Okay.
Similar thing like jumping on the bed when I was asleep.
Mm.
Felt like the pillow went down. And I actually woke up thinking there's like an animal jumped over my head or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you get
Yeah.
you get that. You got a towel in front of
Yeah.
your face. You think, oh,
Oh,
I
so
had
was
that.
But you feel the dog jump up on the bed.
Yeah.
So
So
much so it woke me up. And obviously Ruby had passed away the
Yeah.
year before.
So I mean, the one prevailing episode I've had was at St Peter's in Alresford. You know, the church that burned down. Well, none of you guys have visited there yet, so we'll need to take. I've been up there quite a few times. No.
So it's just a non-church.
It's still consecrated ground. There's still burials done there,
Okay.
but the church itself is.
There's no building. Okay.
Yeah, but it was in the 73, I think it happened. So it was my mate James. He's one of the South End Ghostbuster group. He recommended it, and on the first occasion he bottled out. He said his back was hurting. So me, Kira, Laura, boy, and Laura's producer and his wife. We all went. So we went, and it was fun and games on that occasion. But on the second occasion, it was me and James that went, and it was just me and James. And what was trying to entice some communication from this woman about what happened to her, and it's just getting colder and colder and colder. And James is starting to freak out. So we called it, but I think that's the sort of real experience I've had of a temperature drop. And
Maybe it's just about frequency. Maybe if you
Could be.
vibrate a different frequency, your temperature's different.
it could be, yeah.
Just then like on the wall, like what Jeff said about on the wall,
That was where he lived. Till he wants to come out and play.
you can't even explain that away, can you,
No.
either?
We said right,
Well,
so
If someone else that went straight to it, and you
That's
think,
what
Yeah.
you know, then there's got to be something there, isn't there?
Exactly. Yeah.
right. So just going back to his messages, Glenn said hello from Harlow. So Neil says, can anybody here tell my stepdad John I love keeping the massive garden? No, I don't think you need to. I mean, I
He'll
get
know
the
that
sense
already.
he will know, and he's proud of
I
you.
know that already.
Yeah.
He'll be around you
He's
all
around
the time.
you.
Yeah.
I was just about it, yeah.
He says looking good up to his standards, and Neil said for my mum, it's a big place on her own. As long as I keep the garden smart, mother will stay here.
Oh.
Wow, that's lovely. And then Glenn said the Sydney story is creeping me out.
Oh no, don't be. Sydney
No.
was a harmless young girl. She was not like an evil spirit or anything like that.
Yeah.
And she certainly helped my daughter through probably a crappy period.
Mm.
in her life,
Just
so-
losing her dad.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sydney was there at the right time.
I've got tons of spirits in my house.
Mm.
They don't bother me.
Any
And I
whiskey?
don't bother them.
Any whiskey?
I've got some whiskey as well.
Yeah, I've got.
Always. Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Mm.
Bourbon
Oh.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Single malt.
So there we go. That's the. And we've been on for an hour and 20. So
On the screen, something weird went across the screen.
is it?
Yeah, like from here up across.
Delayed.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
I wonder if
What a replay. What a replay.
What's
Yeah, it's
it?
been like a glitch or something, but it was just strange.
Okay.
Unless, no, I don't know. Maybe I imagined. it.
Unless an orb come past the camera.
No, it was long, like a line.
Oh, okay.
I might have imagined it, so don't quote me.
Oh, right. Demons Drive was just. Sorry, it's a Boycast channel. So, right, we've been on for about an hour and 20, so we want to pick one more thing and have a quick chat about it.
Anybody want the ring?
No, it's
Oh,
not.
okay. Supernatural or paranormal, what's the difference?
I don't think there is.
I think they're both the same thing, aren't they? Just different names, different calls.
Yeah, that was a quick discussion.
I think I would say supernatural is probably a wider
It's a
umbrella.
better word.
Yeah, I'd say it's an umbrella that covers
when we say paranormal, we instantly think of ghosts, you know, spirit,
It covers a
maybe
lot of things.
UFOs, doesn't it? That's
What does para mean?
Parapsychology and
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
does para
Mind
mean?
is of the mind, isn't it?
No,
yeah.
that's sight.
I think
That's
it's-
sight.
Sorry.
It's got to be some a Greek word, isn't it, or something like that, isn't it?
Because para might mean the same
Like
as
paradigm.
super.
Mm.
Para means extra, or
Now Jeff's going to look it up.
and then
I'll find
so
out.
therefore para and super must be the same. Normal and natural are similar, so maybe they do mean the same.
Not parachute. Oh,
Well, it's better than
Something in
shoot
the-
because you're jumping out of a
something
plane.
in the
Yeah.
air, maybe. Something out of the essence.
Paramedic, paratrooper, paraglider, para.
Sky. It's off the sky.
No, paramedics don't fly. Well, they might do in the helicopter.
Take in the air, from the air.
What does para mean?
Mm.
What does the prefix para mean, Jeff? Para, Jeff.
Paralever
Greek
suspension.
prefix para generally means beside, alongside, beyond, or resembling.
Beyond. Beyond.
Anything but normal, then basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super means more than normal as well.
Mm.
From beyond.
So
Yeah.
supernatural and paranormal means the same.
Mm.
Get us with that little
There we go.
Precognition. I don't actually know what it's referring to.
Precognition.
Precognition is when you know something's coming before it does. Like
Mm.
premonition.
So that's something.
Right,
That,
premonitions then.
again, wouldn't that be this? Well, a precognition. Yeah, I mean, precog is like you said. You see things.
Watch the dead zone.
To my mind, precognition is when you see things in the future. But a premonition, to me, is something more profound.
So precognition is thinking, I've learned from my Aunt Gladys, and then the phone rings, and you think, oh, and it's her.
Mm.
That always happens to me.
Yeah.
But premonition is only, see, because my mum used to drive us to this people, she knew about plane crashes.
Mm.
And
That's what I
she-
mean.
She
Premonitions
knew
are
about
normally more.
Lockerbie before it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
they're
weird.
more
She said,
profound.
Oh, she went, I can see this plane, it just goes straight down the road, and the buildings are trashed, and she knew how many people died, just loads of really
Wow.
specific information.
Mm.
But I've always thought, hang on a minute, if that's the case, that means our lives are so planned out, what's the point in giving us free will? But then I did a little chat with my friend, and they said that when you have a premonition,
Mm.
it's when all of the pieces are in place and nothing's going to change because everything is a moving part. If I said,
Yeah.
on Monday you're going to have a car crash, but you don't actually take your car out Monday. So the thing about Lockerbie, for example,
Mm.
I can't remember, I think it was 2 weeks before, 10 days before, my mum dreamt about it. So that pretty much means that for those 10 days, nothing changed. Like that flight was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we know there was some,
Other
what's
stuff.
the word?
Extra help.
Yeah, there was more to it than just a plane crash, wasn't
Mm.
there? There's been loads of documentaries about it.
Yeah.
That means all those things were already in place. Nothing changed.
Yeah. It's
So
like
those 10
a
days.
fixed point in
So
time.
it's just like
Yeah.
waiting for it to happen, really.
Yeah, but I could have a dream
The butterfly
about
effect.
smashing my car up tomorrow, and if I don't get in my car, I'm not going to smash my car,
Yeah.
am I?
So I did.
Not
But
at that
this-
time, no.
No. If I had the time and date and all the rest of it, and I knew what was going to happen, and my legs get cut off,
What, you
and I just thought, right, okay, I'm not driving my car today because that's what's going to happen to me if I drive my car today.
So if you saw the Lockerbie thing, right, and you went, say, I don't know, to the newspapers or
They'd laugh.
and they'd say, you know,
Exactly.
you know,
And then
and
when
then
it happened, they'd come back to you and go, you were a part of it. So no one would say anything.
Mm.
I had a dream once that I died in a light blue car, like a metallic blue car. I've never bought a blue car. My first car was blue. I had a dream afterwards. And I could see the shape of it and everything. So
Yeah.
I just won't buy myself a blue car.
So I mean, I've had several, but my boy didn't. So which one's a precog and which one's a premonition? So I knew about my auntie dying before I was told.
No, me too.
Yeah, see, cognition is about your mental thoughts and how your brain works. So I would say that's probably precognition.
Okay. And another example, which I've also mentioned a few times, is when I was in the third year of juniors.
Remember that like that?
Yes, because this is how much profound it was to me. Now we used to get these maths tests, and we'd done this maths test, and once you got to 100%, you then progressed. And I'd done this test during the day, and then that night I had a dream that I walked into school, sat at my desk, opened my exercise book up, and at the top it said 12 out of 12. I was the first kid in the class. And the next day played out exactly what my dream said.
So you jumped ahead, really. Saw that.
Or
So-
you just know you're really clever at maths.
I'm good with maths. I'm no Einstein, but you know, I do get I do deal with figures. So, well, I do these days in
Yeah.
certain ways. But yeah. So so is that a precognition or is that premonition?
I'd say it's probably precognition because it's
Okay.
something you already did, so you know an idea.
Mm.
But apparently we know everything already, don't we? Because
Yeah.
we're born with all the answers.
So premonition is something that you don't know
Would have
Knowledge
no,
of.
yeah.
prior to, like the
I-
Jacobi thing.
Yeah, I saw the
So I mean,
invasion of the Gulf. When they invaded Iraq, I saw the kind of initial.
Who? Oh, what? Bush and Blair.
Blair.
Well, we knew that was
Yeah.
one of them, didn't we? Bloody hell.
And
Yeah.
I think it was either the Gulf War or something like that.
well,
I
they
saw-
went into Iraq and Afghanistan,
And
didn't
I
they?
saw the commandos landing on these like inflatables
Okay.
at night.
Yeah.
It's a night raid.
Oh, that would have been Iraq.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just sort of two experiences. You know, I had no idea my auntie was ill. She wasn't well, but I had no idea she was ill to that point. But I knew she had died before I was told.
But if I was you, I'd watch the Dead Zone with Christopher Walken. That's the whole film.
Mm.
Walker, I like him.
Yeah, the Dead Zone. He has an accident
I don't.
and he gets
Big,
to see the future.
bit controversial this, but when you had images of Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever it was, you didn't see that red-headed giant, did you?
Who?
So, the red-headed giant that the soldiers allegedly found in the
Oh, the caves.
yes,
When they shot him.
yes, yeah.
No, I didn't see.
Okay, no, I thought I'd ask. So, all right, okay. Well, we're coming up an hour and a half, so yeah, I think we'll call it there.
Call it as
Yeah, got work in the morning.
Time, gentlemen, please.
Yes. So there we go, ladies and gents. That is pretty much it. If anyone's got any other comments, I've got to get up again. But yeah, been an interesting discussion tonight. Subject covered. So we've ticked them off.
Yeah?
So we've done the begin.
Oh my god, we're going to run, I
I
think,
think-
that
I
subjects.
think we've near enough done
Yeah.
now. There was wraiths. Is it wraiths? Wraiths?
Right.
Scottish-
Yeah.
Scottish spirit we haven't done.
Yeah. So we can
Yeah,
have that for the
Banshee,
I
next
think
week.
that is, and Banshee, we did that as well, didn't
Mm. And we need to pick one specific topic for the
Round
round
table.
table. Yeah.
Wow, what should we talk about?
we? Cryptozoology.
Don't know what it is, but
No,
yeah.
I don't either.
We could do cryptozoology.
Extrasensory
Oh, is that like
perception.
skinwalkers and stuff?
Mm.
Yeah. Extrasensory
Okay.
perception.
Okay. So we can go down a cryptozoology thing for the
Yeah.
next round table.
Haven't we done that?
I think we might have touched on it.
Like
We
big
do it, yes,
things.
What, like Skimwalk Ranch?
Yeah.
Skimwalk Ranch.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that
Yeah,
one.
we
When I
talked
wasn't
about
part of
that.
it.
What about the other topic, extraterrestrials? And do they interact with us?
That's the point. We was going to go further into that, weren't we?
Yeah.
The different species.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next round table, we are going to do alien species.
And how they affect,
Mm.
if any
Yeah.
affect
Wh-
us.
Which are the goodies? Which are the baddies? Which are non-plus?
Would be interesting.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. Okay, so that's it. We're going to wrap it up for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. The next Ask a Medium will be the third Monday of June, and the next round table will be the first Wednesday of June. So
When's the third Monday?
the third Monday.
Yeah, what's
Good
the
question.
After the second one.
date?
Has Karen got a diary?
No, I was going to quickly look.
All right. So
My,
Is it the
what's it, a third?
16th?
Yeah, 16.
I'm not here that week.
okay. So good for the following.
That's the one medium.
Well, the extra large, really.
We should just do the 23rd.
No, I'm not suggesting we change it on account of me. I'm not coming. I'm not back to.
Need you here, actually.
I'm not here. I'm not back. Not back till the 24th anyway. So there's no point. You might as well just get on with it.
Yeah.
I could do it. I'll bring the cards and
Yeah,
Tony Readings.
I'll have it.
Yeah, and Brody can have a bash as well.
Yeah, why not?
So, yeah, okay.
Done
So
before.
what date did you say it was?
16th.
16th. So the 16th of June will be the next Ask a Medium, and then the first Wednesday of June will be around. So we'll be talking about alien species, and oh yeah, good
Yeah,
one.
do
That will be given out
interaction.
experiences. Yeah,
It should be the 4th of June.
Mm.
Get my maths.
well done. Yeah,
I only got 12 out of 12.
yeah. So there we go. I've enjoyed this one. Next Wednesday will be recorded content, and I believe it's the visit to the property over at Alting, the abandoned properties.
Is that?
So that was when
Wednesday?
Oh, the Malden House.
yeah, and it's split into two. So the first
we haven't
one,
done the research on the names.
no,
Doing
but the first one was when we was in the. The first one was when we was looking in all the old magazines. They're not them type of magazines, Jason. Sorry.
Oh, when you went into the shed.
Yes. So yeah, the
There's
first.
all the information, and we need to check it out.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, the next bit of recorded content next week is it's a bit of a two-parter. So the one will be a couple of weeks after that, but it's a return to the abandoned property in Alting because there's more buildings there, and we check them out. So yeah, we'll see you that on that one. I'll see you on Monday for the live stream. No, I won't. The vlog. I'll see you Monday for the vlog, and have a great weekend. And yeah, enjoy. Love and light to press.
Cheerio.
Bye bye.
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 Then we go like that. And then laters, yeah, so we got Neil said good night.
No.
TFTV just come in and said good evening. So thank you TFTV for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again, and Plasma State said laters. Thank you everybody. See you later.